For 10 years, I needed 3 coffees just to function. Then, I tested what cutting-edge research says about fixing brain fog at its source. The data didn't just surprise me. It shocked my neurologist. Look, we all know the feeling. The alarm goes off, you stumble to the coffee maker, and you down that first cup, praying for the fog to lift. But what if that very solution is actually making the problem worse? For most of us, coffee is a band-aid. It works by blocking adenosine receptors in your brain, tricking you into feeling awake, but it's a borrowed energy. This leads to that dreaded 2 p.m. crash, and it messes with your cortisol levels, especially if you drink it first thing in the morning. Recent research is pointing to a different culprit for that persistent mental haze, your gut. One brand new study found that 73% of people suffering from chronic brain fog also have gut dysbiosis, which is an imbalance in their gut bacteria. It's not just about digestion. Your gut and brain are constantly talking to each other through something called the gut-brain axis. Think of it as a superhighway. The trillions of bacteria in your gut are like tiny chemical factories, producing neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, the very things that regulate your mood and focus. When your gut is out of whack, that production line shuts down. So, I ran a 30-day self-experiment to see if I could fix my brain fog by fixing my gut. I called it the Microbiome protocol. For the first week, I just tracked my normal coffee routine. Then I swapped it out. The protocol was simple. Every morning within 30 minutes of waking, I had a specific fermented food and prebiotic combo. Crucially, I delayed my first coffee for at least 3 hours. To make this legit, I went all in on data tracking. I used a morning cortisol saliva test, a continuous glucose monitor to track blood sugar, an aura ring for sleep and heart rate variability, and I even took daily cognitive performance tests on an app to get objective numbers on my focus and memory. I kept my sleep, diet, and workouts exactly the same to isolate the one variable: coffee versus the microbiome protocol. Let's look at the results. Week 1 on coffee was exactly what you'd expect. My cognitive scores plummeted in the afternoon, my sleep quality was poor, and my cortisol spiked every morning. Week 2 was the transition. Honestly, it was tough. I had caffeine withdrawal headaches and some bloating as my gut adjusted. But by the end of that week, my morning clarity was already noticeably better. Then came week 3. This is where things got wild. My cognitive test scores shot up. My heart rate variability, a key marker of recovery, improved by 15%. My morning cortisol levels started to flatten out, meaning I was waking up with natural, stable energy instead of a stress-induced jolt. By week 4, I was at peak performance. When I put a typical coffee day head-to-head with a microbiome day doing the exact same tasks, the difference was undeniable. Overall, my cognitive performance increased by a staggering 34% compared to my coffee baseline. Now, I'm not here to demonize coffee. It has its place. If you're going to drink it, you can optimize it. The key is timing. Wait 90 to 120 minutes after you wake up to let your natural cortisol peak and fall. This avoids that jittery, anxious feeling and the inevitable crash. Also, consider adding L-theanine to smooth out the caffeine buzz. Coffee can be a useful tool, but it shouldn't be a crutch you depend on just to feel normal. So, what was the magic formula? My morning cocktail was simple: 2 tablespoons of fermented cabbage juice, 1 tablespoon of kefir, and a teaspoon of inulin, which is a prebiotic fiber. This combination feeds the good bacteria in your gut. And the cost? This protocol came out to about 89 cents a day, compared to my nearly $5 a day coffee shop habit. That's a huge saving. To validate all this, I hopped on a call with a board-certified neurologist and showed him my data. He confirmed that the gut-brain connection is not just legitimate. It's one of the most exciting frontiers in neuroscience. The reason more doctors do unprescribe this is that it is easier to write a prescription than to coach a lifestyle change. He did caution that people with specific gut conditions should consult their doctor first. Of course, this was an experiment on one person, me. That's a limitation. But the results were so profound that I have to share them. Coffee gives you a short-term loan on your energy that you have to pay back later. The microbiome protocol feels like a long-term investment in your cognitive capital. If you want to try this for yourself, I've put together a free PDF with my exact daily protocol, including the food lists and timings. You can download it using the link in the description. I'm also launching a 90-day community study to gather more data, and you're invited to join. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for my 6-month follow-up on this protocol. See you in the next one.